I'm Celine, and I'll be stepping in to help Sam from here on out. You'll start seeing me on some of his videos. I'll handle more of the techie side, the behind-the-scenes stuff that makes these clips actually work. Today, I want to walk you through my personal workflow, how I build a digital persona, the avatar, the voice, and then how I turn that into content that actually performs. I'll also show you how I repurpose that content at scale using a tool I've been loving called Vizard. Because creating is one thing, but distribution is where the magic and the views happen. I'll explain why I mix and match a few tools, what each one is good at, and where Vizard fits into the pipeline. So first, the visual. I usually start by generating a reference avatar. I like to experiment with platforms that offer different AI engines so I can pick the aesthetic I want. For images, I sometimes use an image generator that is straightforward, pay-as-you-go, and fast. I'll upload a reference photo and create two variations, one smiling, one neutral. Why two? Because how the first frame looks ends up mattering later when you animate the face. I set the aspect ratio to 16:9, and I ask for 2 images. Creating these reference images is super quick. Cost per image is tiny. We're talking cents, so you can iterate without blowing a budget. Generated avatars often come out in 720p or 1080p, and they look soft. Don't skip this next step. I run the images through an upscaler and just do face recovery plus upscaling. The difference is insane. The face becomes crisp, teeth look natural, everything reads way better when you animate it later. Save those enhanced files as your final reference images with clear naming conventions. Next up is voice, and I use a leading tool for voice design and cloning. It nails natural speech patterns and intonation better than most consumer tools I've tried. There are 2 routes: design a brand new voice or clone a real voice. Designing a new voice is what I often do for a new assistant persona. Cloning a real voice is possible, but it involves safety prompts and short recording checks to verify identity. For my new persona, I'll design a female voice in her mid-20s that sounds friendly and clear. I type a sample line, let the tool generate a few variants, and pick the one that fits the vibe. The user interface is easy. You just name the voice and save it. Make sure to download that sample audio because you'll need it for the next step. Now comes the avatar animation, and there are 2 main approaches valid depending on your effort. The classic way is to record yourself talking for about 3 to 5 uninterrupted minutes. You upload that recording along with your avatar images to the animation engine. The reason for a continuous take is because these engines learn how your mouth moves and when you pause. They also learn your hand gestures if you include them in that reference video. Tools will use those micro ticks to recreate gestures and natural timing in your avatar. Pro tip, don't be overly expressive during that reference recording. Exaggerated motions translate directly into the generated avatar and can look weird when the dialogue is mundane. Small natural gestures are universal and translate much better into the final output. If you already have a pile of pre-made avatars, this old method is great because you get mannerisms that feel human. I've even used this pipeline before to shoot property walkthroughs, where the virtual host was convincing enough. The result was so convincing that no one called me out in the comments section. The other approach is image-based avatars, where you simply give the engine a still image and it animates it. Historically, if your first frame was a big smile, many older engines would overcompensate and make the smile look creepy. That's why I always export 2 images, smiling and neutral, and test both of them. You should upload the neutral first frame image for the best mouth movement initially. Newer avatar models are smarter and handle smile first images much better now. They can even animate slight background motion, which looks super polished. The downside is that the latest models often lock you into a usage cap, like 5 minutes per month on some tiers. If you need mass output for a campaign, that usage limit can become limiting or expensive. So where does the crucial distribution tool, Vizard, come in? After I have the avatar video and the final audio, Vizard is the tool I use to turn long-form content into a Cliff Notes version that actually gets shared. Vizard is an auto-editing platform that finds the most viral bits from long videos and slices them into ready-to-post clips. It's not just a simple trim tool. It analyzes engagement signals to suggest the parts most likely to catch attention. For creators who produce a lot of content, having this analysis is pure gold. You don't need to manually hunt for the 3 best 30-second clips in an hour-long interview. Vizard does that heavy lifting for you automatically. My typical workflow starts by recording my full video, which could be the avatar delivering a scripted intro. I then feed that entire long video directly into Vizard and let it extract the top-performing moments. I review all the suggested clips and then tweak the captions and hooks inside the platform. Once happy, I either export them or let Vizard auto-schedule them to post across all my socials. That auto-schedule feature is a genuine lifesaver for consistency. You simply set your posting frequency and preferred times, and Vizard drops the clips automatically. There is no need for constant babysitting of the posting queue. The Content Calendar UI is where everything gets organized for you. You can schedule, manage, modify, and publish across multiple platforms, all in one central place. If you are repurposing one long video into dozens of short clips, Vizard is the difference between a weekend of editing and a 5-minute setup. Compare that whole process to only using the avatar platforms you started with. The animation and voice tools are fantastic for creating the core assets themselves. But none of those tools solve the problem of content scale. They don't find viral segments or manage cross-platform calendars. One platform might give you a polished one-off clip, and another gives you great audio. Vizard is what stitches that entire process into a consistent, repeatable content machine. I once made a mock podcast episode where I had my avatar interview a generic AI persona. I exported the full episode and imported the final video into Vizard for the next phase. Vizard auto-generated several short clips with necessary subtitles and suggested eye-catching hooks. I scheduled those clips to go out across 2 weeks, and the resulting engagement doubled compared to posting the raw long episode. I didn't have to manually cut every clip or think about the best posting times because Vizard handled that. Let's look at some honest comparisons and limitations of the system. The latest visual models look amazing, but their usage minutes are limited and costs can climb quickly. The voice cloning tool is awesome for audio, but cloning a real person's voice requires consent and verification, which is crucial. The upscaling software is great for quality, but it remains a separate step and another tool to manage in your stack. Vizard doesn't replace those core creative tools. It is designed to complement them perfectly. Think of Vizard as the editor and distribution manager that takes your polished assets and turns them into a steady stream of shareable content. One more practical tip about those initial avatar first frames. Always test both neutral and smile versions. Older avatar systems will often freak out on a smile first image. Newer ones are better, but the safest path is to provide a clean neutral frame for initial animation. If you are cloning real human mannerisms, record a natural take, and keep your expressions moderate. That simple moderation gives the avatar believable gestures without accidental overacting. When it comes to monetization and scaling for sustainable output, the combination is key. For daily clips, reposts, and multi-platform distribution, Vizard's automation is the most efficient approach I've found. It reduces the bottleneck from, I can't afford an editor, to, I just need to record the content and the software handles the rest. Meanwhile, using the high-end avatar and voice tools keeps the overall production quality consistently high. Mix and match these tools smartly. Optimize your costs, and watch how much more consistent your posting schedule becomes. If you liked this breakdown of the tech stack, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are into geeky content tech walkthroughs like this one. Drop a comment below asking if you want a deep dive tutorial showing my exact Vizard settings for captions and hooks. Also, let me know if you want me to run a side-by-side comparison between the basic pipeline and the full Vizard pipeline. I will show you the exact time saved and the engagement differences side by side. I'll leave links below to all the tools I mentioned in the description. Be aware those are affiliate links, so I get a small kickback if you sign up through them, which helps the channel run. But the real point here isn't pushing subscriptions, it's showing a practical workflow for creators. This workflow helps you move from one-off videos to a predictable, scalable content engine. These AI tools are getting better incredibly fast, and combining them smartly yields polished results. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.